Hello everybody and welcome back to Necroxis Retro Lores. My name is Necroxis and this is the Curse of the Worgen Retro Series. Let's get right to it. Last time we saved some villagers from the cataclysmic ruins of whatever this town used to be called that I can't remember. And then we went to Greymain Manor where we learned that we had to begin evacuating because the Forsaken, with the Horde backing them, have arrived. We took a carriage all the way down here, to Stormglen. And now here we are. And we do some quests here, and that will continue the story. Let's talk to Lorna Crawley.
What is it?
Pieces of the past. I found a journal by a man named Bradshaw. Unfortunately, it's missing many pages, especially towards the end. If you find enough of the pages, I might be able to piece together what happened after the curse broke out. Who knows? Maybe people in this town found a way out. Maybe there are still survivors out there. Maybe my father is still alive. Got to get 6 journal pages, and then Gwen just wants us to kill some spiders that have been plaguing the town. So let's see if we can find one of these. Ooh, I went the wrong way, of course. Let's see if we can find one of these pages. Here we go. There's one right here. I don't remember if you could actually read them right off the bat or not, but let's... Can you? No. So, alright. So there's one of the pages. You basically just collect them off the ground, and then there's spiders to kill. There's a dead one right there. I'm going to do that, and then we will continue on. Alright, we're back. I've completed the quest. Let's talk to Lorna. Any luck finding those pages? Yes, I found all 6. Thank you, Necroxis. It will take some time, but I have to make sense of what we have. Okay, and then let's turn this into Gwen. And then she wants us to kill the queen spider. And I think that's it. So I need to do that, and then the actual story, will progress further. So I will do that, and we will continue on, because we're about to get to an interesting part in the story, where our friends, the Night Elves, come into play. Okie dokie, we have killed the Spider Queen. Let's talk to Gwen again. Okay, thank you. None of these matter because I have heirlooms. Back to Lorna.
What is it?
The Blackwalled. It took a while, but I think I put together what happened here, at least partially. There were survivors of the curse in this town. They joined others in the mountains in the Tempest Reach. Everyone left, except the man who kept this journal, Old Man Bradshaw. He noticed the Worgen attacks had stopped all of a sudden and decided to venture into the Blackwalled. There is an abandoned mill just northeast of town where Bradshaw lived. See if you can find any clues. So we need to investigate the Bradshaw Mill just outside of Stormglen Village, which, like, once again, I'm going the wrong way automatically from the get-go, which is smart. So, it's something that a lot of people who haven't done this wondered. After the Worgen basically invaded Gilneas and attacked it, and why did they suddenly stop when all of the, well, most of the people were transformed into Worgen? It doesn't make sense why they would just totally stop. So this is that story thread that we're exploring. We have to go to the mill right here, investigate the mill, and we're going to see, there's the quest objective, and it turns out to be a night elf by the name of Belrissa Starbreeze.
Peace be with you.
I've been expecting you, Necroxis. Do not be alarmed. My name is Belrissa. I am a priestess of the moon, a night elf. You might not know my people, but the destinies of our 2 races have been linked since the curse befell you. Losing your trail. You must have many questions, Necroxis, and they will be answered in time. I know why you're here and what you're looking for, but I can't lead you there with the enemy tracking you. One of Sylvanas' scouts has been following your tracks. You can't lead the Forsaken to the place you seek. Take this talisman and walk along the road just north of here. Let the ranger lure you into her trap and use the power of the talisman to break free and counterattack.
Go in peace.
So apparently there's been someone tracking me, and that sucks because we can't lead them to wherever Belrissa wants us to take. Oh, it's supposed to be over here. Okay. Someone is literally just doing the quest, so I'm going to do it myself. You walk over here. You're, like, walking around this area. She's supposed to, like, trap you. There we go. So then I use the talisman. She says, such easy prey. Sylvanas will be most pleased. How did you? It doesn't matter. I don't need a trap to defeat you. And then, basically, I just kill her. And she's dead. And this needs to go away. I think I have a setting where it stays too long. Let's see. So we need to go back up here. I'll tell you a little bit more about Belrissa when we get further down the quest chain, but she is, if not a main character, then the main character from the Curse of the Worgen comic.
Goddess, bless you.
Well done, Necroxis. The scouts never had a chance. Tal'Doran, the Wild Home. There are others like you, Necroxis, and they too were lost and confused. There is a place where you belong. Tal'Doran, the Wild Home, was once home to an order of druids who took the shape of the wolves. It is there that you will find the answers you seek. It is also there that you will find someone who can offer guidance, an old friend. Speak to Darius Crowley in Tal'Duran, in the heart of Blackwall. So we need to go find our good old friend Darius Crowley, who actually did not die. Let's see on the map where that is. We have to go all the way deep in there. So yeah, let's talk about Curse of the Worgen for a little bit. The Curse of the Worgen is a comic. As I said before, it is my favorite comic. I think it is by far and away the best comic in a line of very mediocre comics that are in the WoW universe. I think Curse of the Worgen is by far the best. It has to deal with the origins of the Worgen. We're going to learn a little bit more as we continue this quest chain. But Belrissa is the main character. It has to do with her and I guess her lover. She's not a husband. It's not her husband, but like her lover, and becoming the Worgen and the War of the Satyr, which happens after the War of the Ancients, where the Satyrs, which are a demon race, try to evade and attack and destroy the Night Elves. So here we are back at with Darius Crowley. Tal'Duran, the Wild Home. You're all right, Necroxis. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. It is truly great to see you, friend. I've heard what you've done, and I'm thankful, especially for Lorna. She's all I have left. I'll send for her right away. At our doorstep. The Night Elves have taught us much during this time, Necroxis. They have taught us who we are and where we come from. Thanks to them, thanks to this place, we're no longer mere beasts. We have regained free will. The Forsaken aren't here for our lands alone. They're looking for something we possess. An artifact capable of uncontrollably spreading the curse to all of humanity. We cannot let them find it. Sylvanas' banshees have come very close. Help my trackers take them out. We have another quest here from Vasanda Stormclaw. Let's see. Preparations. What do you know here as a curse began as a heresy among our brethren. Faced with a losing battle against demonic forces, the druids of the pack eschewed the balance they were sworn to and allowed the beast to overtake them. They were banished to the Emerald Dream, where they live in eternal slumber under a tree identical to this one, but not before their curse spread to others. Today our ceremony will restore the balance to your people. Bring me the leaf that grows only in Tal'Duran's vicinity. So I need to find, let's just not look at this because that's part of a next quest. Don't want to spoil it. So we have to find 6 moon leaves. They help basically undergo a ritual that the Worgen need to in order to regain control of themselves completely. Because even though Krennin's potion, my friend needs to stop hopping characters. Even though Krennin's potion allowed us to regain like somewhat of a control, we are still struggling, or at least canonically, the Worgen are still struggling. The player characters are still struggling to contain the beast within themselves. So we need to get 6 moon leaves, and then we also need to kill some banshees because Sylvanas' forces are trying to find something. We're going to learn what it is the next quest, so I don't feel bad telling you. They're going to find the Scythe of Elune, which is an important artifact that was made made from I forget the it's some kind of it was made through like part of an antler-ish, I think is what it was, an antler from oh no, it was a fang. It was a fang from Goldrin is what it was from. That's right, because Goldrin had to do with it. Goldrin is the wolf god of the Night Elves. He is one of their gods, or their ancients, demigods, whatever. And it was used with the fang of his with some other magic, and it allowed the druids, as the quest just explained, to take on the form of a wolf. But that was seen as heresy because the druids, once they transformed into those wolves, couldn't control themselves. And this is all explored through the Curse of the Worgen comic that I highly suggest. If you're going to buy a WoW comic, that would be the only one I would really suggest because it's really good. You could find it really cheap these days. It's been out like 2 or 3 years now. If you're looking for an easy, interesting read with really good art, and just something you could read in an afternoon, pick up Curse of the Worgen because I think it's fantastic. I'm always advocating good outside lore in this universe, and that's definitely one piece of it. So yeah, that has to do again with this whole storyline that we're doing, but it goes much more in depth. It talks about how the Worgen form, at first called pack form, is what it used to be called. I don't think they ever bring that up during this quest chain. The Worgen form used to be called pack form because it became like a pack of wolves. It was used against the war as the satyrs in the War of the Satyr, and so, but once the druids turned into them, they couldn't control themselves. So Malfurion Stormrage banned it. but there was a group of druids who were like, basically, we can control it. We don't think it should be banned. And eventually, I'm not going to spoil what happens in the comic, but I will give you this a little bit of a teaser. It turns out that Malfurion himself tried to use the pack form before, and it didn't turn out well for him. So that is why he ends up banning it. But there is a group that continues to use it, and it gets so bad to the point that they have to be banished to the Emerald Dream under that tree that we were just at, and banished to the Emerald Dream. But the tree is now here because of, how the land split up and such like that. So the tree is very similar here. It's connected to the Emerald Dream. That's why it's a soothing place for the Worgen here. But anyway, we've completed the quest, so let's go back to Lorna. While I've just been rambling, hopefully you've... My goal when I do these is to show you the quest line and try to explain some background information that you might not know, or might be a little bit not clear through the game, but through outside lore I've learned. So that's my goal, trying to explain this. I felt like that last part was just me rambling a bit, though. But the TLDR of that is go read Curse of the Worgen, because it's really good. So we have completed both quests. Let's talk to Crowley first. There are a bunch of Worgen gathered here now. Let's see. He says, "You're as good as I remember. It's good to have you back. Take back what's ours. Ever since the Forsaken invaded Gilneas, we've tried to keep the location of the Scythe of Elune secret. We've moved it." Oh, someone comes up and says, "Darius, the Dark Rangers have the Scythe. They got to it before we were able to reach it. Get our man to position immediately, Tobias. We cannot let the Scythe fall into the hands of the Forsaken. It will be done." That is Tobias Mistmantle, by the way. I mentioned him in episode 1, I think. So, anyway, let's read this again. "Ever since the Forsaken tried to invade Gilneas, we've tried to keep the location of the Scythe of Elune secret. We moved it at night to one of the many safe locations. The Dark Rangers got close, but they never found it until now. They were last spotted in Wood's End cabin west of here. Blow this horn when you find them, and Tobias and his trackers will engage the Dark Rangers. Only then will it be safe for you to venture inside the cabin and take back the Scythe. Hurry, Necroxis, it must not reach Sylvanas." So let's talk to Vissandra. "You've returned. These simple leaves grow by Elune's grace. They will help your mind understand the need for balance, and your soul will permanently earn mastery over the beast."
May the stars guide
I don't think I can do that next part of the quest yet. Okay, good. Alright, so now we need to go way over there to find the, take back the Scythe of Elune. The Scythe of Elune, it's a curious object. As someone like myself who played during Vanilla, if you played during Vanilla as well and played the Alliance's side of, well, the only side, the Alliance version, and only version of Duskwood, there is like strong hints of the Scythe of Elune there because there were Worgen there. Stupid banshees attacking me. So yeah, old school did I say Darkshore? I meant Duskwood if I did. Old school Duskwood has a lot to do with the Worgen back in Vanilla. Had to do with a certain person who I'm not going to spoil it as well, but it turns out you learn more about her in the Curse of the Worgen comic. She's not in this quest chain though. Valind Starsong, I forgot her. I think that's her name is Valind. And so yeah, but it was kind of left off, so I'm kind of glad they're revisiting it. So here we are, doing another one of quests like these, like we did in the second episode. Tobias says, "Keep them occupied, my brothers. Allow Necroxis to retrieve the Scythe." So all these guys are fighting. Now we can run in and get the Scythe, which is in this box. We've got it. I don't know why they just call it a mysterious artifact. He flat out said it was the Scythe of Elune. So we can now just escape. Let's just run. And he says, "Retreat, fall back into the woods." Let's click this. Demonic leap. Woo! Smash. I'm really enjoying demonic form. I'm glad I'm giving demonology a second chance. I've never really fought anything that I can't kill in 2 hits, so I haven't really used it a lot yet, but it's really cool looking. I get a nifty little leap. So, okay, we're going to go back to Darius Crowley, and then we should be doing the ritual next, if I'm remembering correctly, which is quite important, and then we're gonna get a scene. So, do you have the Scythe, Necroxis? I do. I knew you could count on you. You've done well. Neither human nor beast. It is time, Necroxis. This alchemy that has kept the beast inside you at bay will not last for long. The first cursed Worgen were night elf druids like our new allies. They, however, abandoned the balance that the rest of their kind embraced and allowed their beast to take over their minds. It is only fitting that their brethren be the one that deliver us from this curse. Go, warlock, drink from the waters of Tal'Darim and make peace with yourself. Drink from the 3 wells, which are these right here. Let's start with the Well of Fury first. And it says, just as Goldrin's spirit once blessed our druids, let Necroxis be blessed with the wisdom of his race and the ferocity of our wolf god. Let's go to this one, the Well of Balance. Let the scythe unbind that which was not meant to be bound. Let the soul master beast, lest the beast master the soul. And finally, the Well of Tranquility. Just as Dalonir soothed the cursed druids who gave in to the beast and abandoned the balance, let Tal'Doran soothe Necroxis. Dalonir, that sounds familiar. I believe that's the horn that Malfurion blew in Warcraft 3 when when it was the bear druids that couldn't come out of their form or something. It is done. You are now one of us. It doesn't matter what I pick here. And then I get my 2 forms. Here we go. There's a scene here. Lorna Crowley has arrived with Gen Greymane and Godfrey, who have learned that these people are here. So let's watch.
Crowley, you and your elven allies are hereby ordered to serve along the king's army. Cursed or not, you are still bound by Gilnean law.
Does this toad speak for you again? Do you come to our dwelling as a friend, or do you come as a tyrant?
No, old friend. I've come to you as an equal.
Oh shit! Genza Worgen too.
Impossible.
Again, it is not law that binds us. It is something far stronger. My men are ready to give their lives under your command.
It is decided then. We will unite all Gilneans and drive the Forsaken from our lands.
Is that it? I think so. So Godfrey's kind of pissed, obviously, that Gen is a Worgen as well. You find that out during the comic. It's interesting. The comic it's told by Belrissa, but the framing device that they use to show what happens in the past for the War of the Ancients is actually Belrissa explaining history to Gen, and then you see everything in the past, which I think is pretty cool. I think I already said that, but I don't care. Return to Stormglen. It'll be a long time before our nation comes together again. The old political divisions pale in comparison to what divides us now. Yet, if there was ever a time for us to come together and unite against a common enemy, it is now. And it is you, Necroxis, who have proven able to bridge the gap between our people. Return to Stormglen and tell them it is safe to go through the Blackwall on their way to Tempest's Reach. We will take care of any Forsaken who follow them. So I need to go back to Gwen and tell her that it's safe to travel through the Blackwall because the Worgen will not attack us. In fact, the Worgen will not only not attack us, they're going to defend us from anything that might try to hurt us, like Forsaken. So I'm going to go back with the Lorna, and then we should get the next part of the story. All right, we've returned to camp. Just to show you, when I completed that quest to drink the 3 things, I got my 2 forms ability, which makes me turn back into a human. So it's kind of like a thing where it's like, now you've regained enough control of yourself to switch between your 2 forms. So I'm going to show you actually the Worgen transformation like this, because I think it looks really cool. So I'm going to, let's see if I can angle this right. I'm going to hit this, become human, and then I will go like this, and then do this. Oh, that looks so cool. They did a really good job on that. Okay, let's talk to Gwen.
I got a bad feeling.
Says, King Greymane gave me a brief rundown of the plan before he set off to Blackwall. Doesn't make it sound any less crazy. Onwards and upwards. I will do as Darius asked and have our people move through the Blackwall. You ought to catch up with King Greymane. He and Krenin went into Tempest's Reach after Lord Godfrey confirmed survivors had made their dwelling there. Follow the road out of Stormglen into the mountains. I asked Krenin to wait for you at the bridge before Tempest's Reach. And now that is way down there. So I'm going to... there's no auto thing where we get to like ride all the way there, so I have to run there myself. We're going to do that, and then I think we're going to get towards the end of this episode, because we've already done quite a bit already. Alright, here we are. You can see Tempest Reach in the background there. My settings aren't high enough because Frap slows my thing down, but Krenin, who's supposed to be over there, is actually chilling down over here. We're going to find out what happened. Let's talk to him. Krenin, Royal Chemist. Necroxis, Gen, they've taken Gen. They've taken our king. Betrayal at Tempest Reach. Excuse me. King Greymane has been taken prisoner by Lord Godfrey in Tempest Reach. He managed to convince the two of the Eastern Lords to go with the plan. The fool seems to think he can strike a deal with the Forsaken by turning Greymane over to them. Listen carefully, Necroxis. We need to resolve this with as little bloodshed as possible. This potion will allow you to sneak in undetected. We need to assassinate the traitorous lords before this gets out of hand. Drink Crennan's potion of stealth in Tempest Reach and assassinate Baron Ashbury and Lord Walden. For those of you who are Horde or have not played this in your alliance and you've played Shadowfang Keep, Baron Ashbury and Lord Walden, those guys might be familiar to you, so you can probably guess what happens to them. So once again, Crennan has come through for us. We need to sneak into here and kill these two guys. This is one of those stealthy kind of missions that I really like, where so I take this, I turn invisible. Basically, I have to avoid the Mastiffs. I like that they have a skeleton, a Worgen skeleton there. So I have to basically avoid the Mastiffs to... we can actually look over here and see, look at... Lord Godfrey's there with Greymane. But that's not our job. Our job's not to save him yet. We need to go and assassinate the two lords. Unfortunately, there's a frickin' guy right here. Maybe I can just sneak past like this. Yes, did not detect me. Good. Even though they're not elite, but I could probably take them if I wanted, but screw it. Our mission is to do this without getting caught. That is my current mission. I always found this funny that there's a bunch of sheep here. I don't know why there is and why that is the way it is, but, you know, whatever. So we need to go into here. Tempest Reach is like this little area. Let's see if I can be far enough in here without falling into the water. And I did it. Good. So let's... Can I use my ability without... Yes, I can. I can do it while stealth. That's cool. So we go up here. One of them is here. Who is this one? Baron Ashbury. He's right here. So let's take care of some business. Son of a bitch. Yeah, bitch, that was a crit. And where's the other one? Oh, yeah, he's way up there. That's right. So I'm going to do this. Whee! Splat. And where's the guy on the bridge? I don't know, but I'll use my potion. Hopefully sneak past him before he walks back. Good. I love the rain. I don't know what it is about just adding rain into something that makes it so much cooler. But I'm really digging like the damp, gross, dirty way that Gilneas looks. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, why would you like something that looks all damp and gross and dirty? It's because it looks more realistic, that's why. Where am I actually going? This way. Here we go. So he's going in here. I believe I think he's in his house. I believe that's correct. Yes, he's inside. So I'm going to sneak past these Tempest Reach watchmen. So basically, if you didn't understand, what happened is... Oh, someone just killed him. I have to wait for him to respawn. Oh, no, here he is. If you don't understand what's happened, basically, Lord Walden and Ashbury joined up with Godfrey to take Gen prisoner in order to... Drink this potion again. In order to try and strike a deal with Sylvanas to leave Gilneas alone. Now, that might sound like a decent plan unless you knew about Sylvanas and how she doesn't give a shit about anybody. She only really cares about herself and the Forsaken, even them to a lesser extent. She really only cares about herself. And this plan would never work, so that's why I don't feel bad about killing these guys. So let's sneak past in here. And I am here. Am I supposed to be... No, okay, so basically I have to de-stealth, and I'll just kill this guy, I guess. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this guy aggroed. He is evading now, which is even better. Great. Kill these two. He's dead. Demon form. There we go. Okay, so talked again. I wish it could have been avoided, Necroxis. Let us ensure this is resolved without further bloodshed. We get a top hat for this, which is cool. Now, this is an important scene. Oops, I'll take this. It's over, Godfrey. You have no support left among the Eastern Lords.
No, I'd sooner die than have one of your kind for a king.
Where you going? Godfrey, no! So, there he goes. So Godfrey opts for suicide rather than being subservient under a Worgen. So, that's what happens to him. I thank you, Necroxis. We can't rest on our laurels. However, we found a mining town currently under Forsaken occupation. We sent some of my men along with Crowley's daughter to the nearby livery stables, to begin operations there. Liam should be joining them shortly. I'll stay here and organize the final push for Gilneas City. Speak to Lord Hewell to secure a horse to get you there. Where is he? Here he is.
Waste my time.
It's not time to turn one against one another, Necroxis. I agree.
The past must not be repeated.
Do I get to control the horse? No, I don't. So here we go. We are going to ride all the way up here, and I think that'll conclude this episode once we get there. We're going to the mining town. I don't think they named it yet, did they? No, but it's under Forsaken occupation, and so we are going to free them, and then we're going to push on Gilneas. As you can tell, we've uncovered most of the map, which means we're close to the end. We need to do some of this mining town stuff, and then there is some Gilneas City action, in which there is some really cool scenes, and then there's a little bit over here, and then we're done. So we're getting close to the end. I'm basically just trying to fill time while we slowly ride there. So yeah, I guess we can just enjoy the atmosphere. I don't have to really be speaking. So yeah, just enjoy. I love Gilneas City in the background. It looks really cool. Alright, so we have arrived. There's my Warlock trainer by himself as usual. The livery, how do you pronounce that? Livery, whatever. Livery outpost. And this is where, actually I'll turn this in first.
What is it?
I'm glad to have you around here, Necroxis. We can surround the Forsaken on all sides and use all the help. Oh, we are surrounded on all sides. We can use all the help that we can get. Okay, so this is where this episode will end. The actual episode 4. Unlike last time where I said episode 4. Hey, grats to that guy. W, you leveled up. We're going to continue the story next where we try to free this town from the Forsaken. And yeah, we'll see what happens after that. I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.